For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a bit of a review video on a sort of new awning, well, kind of a new version of an awning from Isabella. So with me here today, I've got the Isabella Magnum. So the Magnum collection has been in range for a number of years. We've seen different forms of it with different materials. The previous Etnos, basically in terms of the colour scheme, is sort of slowly being changed. So we moved new to a really nice new, what we call Alba colour. So the Alba actually is now have an extra size in there. So what we now find is we do but there's a Magnum 260 to add to the 340 and 400 collection. So a bit of a smaller size, gives you that a little bit more space than the Minor, which eventually was 260 but not as deep. So they're still 2.5 meters deep as well. But what we're looking at is almost like a true Isabella in terms of the fabric. So we've got a beautiful kind of acrylic material, great sort of weight, and naturally because you've got the way that Isabella dye the materials with dope dyeing them, what they essentially do is they dye basically the threads before it's woven into actual yarn. The reason this is important is because we use the analogy of the difference between, say, a carrot and a radish. Your carrot being when you cut them through in half, carrot has colour all the way through, radish on the outside, white in the centre. Now with our carrot kind of thing, what we find is when it's products are exposed to sunlight, be it awnings throughout for a period of time, they tend to fade. But with your carrot, because the colour's all the way through it, when the outer coating goes, you've still got the core colour there. So it looks as sharp as it is on day one, as it does. So really, they just look brilliantly. One thing we've known and loved with Isabella off the core collection is obviously how the workmanship of it. You know, we're talking about a product that's made in Europe, and it's made by Isabella themselves, rather than outsourcing it to another factory to make on their behalf. So every way they do the seams and everything like that, so I think it's sort of in the roof seams, for example, triple fold and double stitched to again to give an interlock and really make it look really quite sharp. And just things like the little piping they do here as well. All of the zips are spiral chains, so again it's tooth counted, so you make sure they're really nice over zip sized. When you have tension points as well, it's just really nice and durable, and anyone who has an Isabella from the past can actually a testament to that. We've got a Carbonex frame, so a real nice lightweight frame, but still has a good amount of strength to it. These are designed to be kind of touring awnings, but I do know people who use these for probably extended periods of time, and it's still perfectly fine. The fabric's more than up to up to it, to be honest with you. We've got obviously the new Alba colour, which I think is it's very similar to the Coast in terms of the colour itself. Real nice sharp kind of denim blue, and you can see the kind of the woven wet for the actual fabric itself. So it does, again, naturally looks as premium as you would expect from Isabella. Optional annexes available and can fit on either side of it as well. Like I said, this is the 260. You can probably see just in the background here we've got the 400 as well, just as a comparison. We've got the front panels on the 260, again, like the 340 and the 400 is completely removable, so you can remove the front, remove the sides, and essentially it can just be kind of a sun canopy on its own. So again, you've got a little brow canopy that comes directly out. So again, all of the Carbonex frames are standard, come with the kind of flicks on, so you can adjust that, get the roof tension, and look really quite sharp. One thing again, what you find is actually with the awning itself, in the framework, it locks in place. So what you've got is the regulator tab at the bottom, so the frame will lock into the canvas at the bottom, go through a spike at the top, so you obviously get tension there, and then it does the same throughout the whole awning. Now this is important because it basically bonds the framework with the actual canvas, so like a drum, it stretches and then it actually becomes really strong and taut. Additional storm straps can be purchased additionally, so you can literally wrap those around the framework and go directly down. Isabella don't ever recommend basically putting a storm strap over the top of it. Reason being is because then you get the wear on the material. With this, because the frame is locked into the canvas, by locking the frame down, you're locking the canvas down. So that's kind of why they kind of do that. Other things, you've got this new curtain pattern, which we'll have a look at on the inside in a second. A little bit different, kind of a more foresty vibe, as you say. So we've got some kind of alpine trees on there as well. One thing you can also do, as what we have here, is because you've got the 4 zip pullers on kind of the front panel, you can also have your little kind of utilizer light for a battery. So you can buy a little point like so, new thing for this year, and then have your hanging point if I don't actually mess it up. But the good amount of canopy there, you can create a veranda as well with the front panel. So by removing that section, you can actually zip that panel down, pop that over, and then fold it over to make that kind of veranda style. But one thing I do find, I think, especially from that 260, is the depth-wise in there for a little narrow thing, it is really quite boastful. ventilation panel located at the top as well to help with airflow, and on the side panels what you have is a what we call 70-30, so you've got 70% window, 30% door, and then with the actual window panel itself you've got the PVC outer cover, so you can get obviously the sort of weather tightness, but you can roll it up and then you've got a full mesh window in there as well, so for help for airflow, that's absolutely, you know, crucial from that point of view. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's bring the camera inside and talk for some more features about this new Magnum Alba.
Attention, please. This is a message for all exhibitors. These chimes will precede all NEC emergency messages. All exhibitors are requested to check their stands for any items that should not be there or for anything untoward. This is to ensure that the hall is safe prior to opening. Please raise any concerns with security staff immediately. Thank you.
So now in the awning you can kind of see kind of a more compact size of it. Like I said, that 260 depth, actually, because you've got 2.5 metre deep, it feels quite spacious in here. Headroom height is absolutely boastful as well, because I'm about 6'2". I feel you've got tons of room. It's always worth having a look at the 340 and 400. We'll look a bit later on in the 400 size in the difference, but fundamentally everything about it's the same. One thing I also like about Isabella is you've got, with even porch awnings, not only you've got the frame that locks to the canvas, but you've got a reinforcement patch here as well. So wherever the pole meets the fabric on the inside, you've got a basically reinforced basically bit of material to stop anything rubbing on it. So again, you get that kind of hard wear to it. Very simple to pitch. We've done separate pitching videos on how you pitch kind of a porch awning as well. Literally pop the pole in the front, down, across the roof section, down, out and down. And actually where I find this is probably a bit easier to pitch than the Privacy minor, just because you've got a central pole, you can go directly straight down from it. With the minor, because you had that big open window, you didn't necessarily have that. So yeah, it just makes, I think for me, pitching side of things a bit easier. Like I said, we've got the optional annex on here, and the joys with the annex is you can obviously re-zip the panel back in, so you've still got that buffer gap, and you can probably see a bit better actually where I was talking about that 70-30. That's your 30% door, which obviously zips down. Got your Isabella kind of porthole in the side panels, and then we've got this big mesh panel here as well. Traditional kind of Isabella style curtains, real nice sort of soft fabric. I'll say that new kind of mood scene. Again, we've got little toggle points, little clip points to toggle it off. We probably can't see it from that way. There you go. So you've got a new curtain as well, which is, you know, give a bit more of a moody film. Again, it's up to you whether you have the pattern on the inside or the outs. If you're not overly fan, as you can see from there, you probably can't really see it from the inside. So it depends whether you want to kind of create that kind of, like I said, alpine kind of part. But again, very easy press touch toggle points located there as well. And you can, like I said, side panels and front panels can remove completely, so you just essentially have the roof fabric itself. But because you've got a very upright front, even like a small table, you can have that right to the front, a couple of chairs either side, and you've got tons of room in here. Fitting it, because it's a porch awning against the caravan, you've got a foam pad located there as well, and you've got Isabella's kind of clip system, so it's really quite clever. So you've got a pole that basically locks onto the frame at the top, that sort of levers out and presses the foam pad directly against it. These clasps as well help to give that ultimate seal, because it basically attaches the actual, again, canvas onto the frame and force that foam pad against it. So you've got a real nice, strong, not only strength, but again, that sort of seal against sort of the wind and draft. A draft skirt comes included, and wheel arch comes included as standard as well. So typically it's single axle, so if you need to upgrade to twin axle, normally have to let us know beforehand, so we can obviously get it changed over for you. Panels are interchangeable, like I said, so you can change the side door position. So rather than being at the back of the caravan, by changing the panels over, it means that essentially it goes to the front section. And you've got a whole range of sort of like with the PVC mud skirts, again, really nice hard wearing, a range of bowl-on carpets you can look at as well for actual the awning itself. But let's pick the camera up actually and come for a few more things on the awning as we go through it. So that sort of clip system I was mentioning previously, up in the top section here, you can see how actually that pole goes directly onto it. This is the clip that goes onto it. It's a really nice strong structure, and again that foam pad then pressed directly against kind of the caravan. You've got, again, reinforcement points as I sort of mentioned, so as you kind of come through, basically you see the face fabric there, that's basically just stopping any kind of wear and tear on it. There's a spike that goes directly through there, that's basically what locks the frame into the canvas, and then there's a regulation tab, so you've got different height adjustments on the bottom, so you can make sure it's engaged, and you can get that fabric looking absolutely like a drum. Really nice, strong sort of polyester roof again, so it's again designed to sort of last. Ventilation points at the top, and then we've got the spiral chain zips, so you can get that sort of with the curvature. Curtains are easily removable, so you can just literally put them on the sliders or take them off. Obviously, if you want to clean them or do anything with them. But I think again, it gives a real kind of homey kind of vibe when you're inside of it as well. And then for the annex, you can buy an additional bedroom in here if you want to sleep extra people in here. But I say even for if you've got like a small micro caravan or a small caravan for that matter, and you're a bit restricted on the awning rail, that's where that 260 size can really make a difference. But again, works really well. You've got external blinds on the annex here as well, and then you've got also a entrance door at the back, and also a ventilation panel located here. As we kind of come round, looking at the comparison between, say, the 260, which we've got located there, and then the 400, you can see again what we're talking about with that side panel. So you've got a door located at the back, and then obviously a big window there. The thing as well with these, in particular, it zips along the bottom, so you get a proper thorough feel. And also then you've got the PVC window at the bottom as well. Extra points located down there. If you wanted to add a bit more extra pegging points, you can do that as well. All of the pegging points are actually reinforced, so they are kite stitched into it, and you've got the adjustable strap as well. So a little bit of elasticated cord, but that's then very easy to remove and replace if need be, and then it's reinforced into a kite stitch, and there's literally a fabric located there, and that's the extra point then you can actually lash onto if you want a bit more bouts and braces. As mentioned, the 400 itself can be, the front panel can be completely removed, and with the 400, unlike the 260, you've got the front doors as well, which you can sort of roll back. That's the same with the 340 as well, so you can check probably other video review we've done on that as a comparison. And so we still can create that kind of little bit of a little lights located on the top section, and we've got the ventilation panels located at the top. But again, you can see, in fact, we're going to the roof here, that is the spike located there. So that's what actually engages the awning the whole way through. Nice big open panel. In fact, let's go into the 400 to give you a bit of a difference in size. It still is a 250 deep, so same depth as you see here, but a bit more space. Then we've got a slightly larger table in there as well. There's still a good amount of depth away from the actual caravan itself. You can add to make it more homely with the little things like the lights and things like that. You've got a typical kind of Isabella porthole in there, and you can create an overlap with the carpet, with the muzzwall. Again, I think for me, that addition of a 260, I think, just changes it a bit more. You kind of got a lot more options on that front. Actually, the size of that, you know, get that on there. That oversized zip, again, when you're on tension points, but everything is really nice, oversized. Everything is tooth counted as well, so they know how many teeth in every single panel. But again, if you look at the kind of face fabric you can see there, albeit in the dark, looks really quite sharp. And actually, when you look at that blue colour, there you go, so that's better. Look at the blue colour there. Again, you've got see almost the texture of the woven weft of the material in a comparison. I don't know, just everything about it is just very classy. Even easy to use toggle points works really well. The kind of like white mesh for kind of the ultimate amount of ventilation. I mean, it's a model like I said we'll have on display at our indoor showroom, so it's something of interest. It's obviously because there's multiple different sizes, you're not going to always have absolutely everything on display, but we certainly do our best to do what we can do. Now, for more information on, of course, the Magnum collection, what you can do is you can check the link below this video, take you straight through the website with more information, things like pack sizes, floor dimensions, individual obviously features. But from a porch awning point of view, you know, it's kind of Isabella's bread and butter awnings, and I think sits well. The new colour lifts it up a little bit more. Admittedly, probably blue is not going to be everyone's taste, but I think with the blue and grey trim, I mean, I'm personally a big lover of blue. I think it's a nice, fresh addition to it. Depending on when you're watching this video, there might be a chance there's still been some old Etna ones around. They're still perfectly good. It's just the fact that they've just changed the colour really. So it's worth snapping those last ones up if you've got an opportunity to. But I think for me, I think the Alba is a bit more of an improvement especially with the matching Awnings and the whole new size range of a 263, 40 and the 400 as well. But yeah, hope it's been helpful. Like I said, it'd be good to hear from you guys what you think of the new colour, and if you've got a Magnum, I know they've sort of, you know, it's not like a typical kind of porch awning for touring use. People have it. I've got customers of mine who've had theirs for 10, 15 years. You know, it's pretty much built to last. No one else really quite does it like Isabella. Certainly with the breathability aspect of it as well, with the acrylic fabric. But yeah, hopefully it's been helpful, and hopefully we'll see you again in our next Attwoolls Outdoors video review. So until next time, thank you.